Good morning, students. Today, in the fifth chapter, Inductors and Transformers, we are going to discuss about the transformers. The transformers are divided into three classes. The first class, now we are going to discuss about the introduction of the transformers. Objective of this class is we are try to discuss about the transformer. What is the basic principle of the transformer? On which principles transformer is working? What are there in the transformer? We try to discuss about the transformer. Introduction to the transformer. What is the transformer? In the last class also we given some sort of introduction about this transformer. Now we try to recall some of these points regarding the transformer. So you know that what is transformer. So before going to the transformer, we know that Faraday's laws, Faraday first law and Faraday second law. Based on these laws only, the transformer is working. The Faraday first law says that whenever a conductor cuts the magnetic flux, an EMF is induced in it. The meaning is whenever a conductor, if you take a conducting wire, if it cuts the magnetic flux, what happen means in that conductor magnetic EMF, that is electromotive force, is induced. This says that Faraday's first law. Second law says that the magnitude of induced EMF in the conductor, the magnitude of induced EMF conductor depends on the rate of change of the flux linkage. Rate of change of flux linkage through the conducting wire. So how much rapidly changing, so that change is proportional to the magnitude of the induced EMF. So this is the two basic principles which are used for the transformer. So now we try to understand some examples. Already you know that. Do you know where the electrical energy is generated? You know that where the electrical energy is generated? Generally, the electrical energy is generated at hydel and thermal power station. At the hydel thermal power station and the tidal power station. So what are the major source of generating the electrical power? So you know that in the hydel we need the water, in the thermal we need the coal. Already we know in these power station power is generated. So after generating the power, what we need to do? What we need to do is from the power station to that power should be transferred to the our domestic purpose or industrial purpose. Wherever we require, there we need to transmit the power from the power generation station. So the main concept is whenever you want to transmit the power, that power must be in the higher voltages. If the power is higher voltages, transmission having the low losses. So in order to get that, we need to step up the generated power into the higher power. So coming to the our usage, after reaching our industry, our domestic purpose, the voltage should be minimum, not the higher voltages. Normal voltage we need to have. For the normal voltages, what we need to do is the high voltage is transmitted, we get that high voltage. After getting that high voltage, we try to step down that voltage into domestic purpose voltages. So what we needed is from the power generation to the power utilization, what we needed is power step up is needed. After reaching that, power step down is needed. This type of step up and step down is performed by the transformer. So general, that is the transmission of electrical energy at high voltages is economical. At high voltage is economical. Therefore, some means are required for stepping up the voltage at generation station. Some means are required for stepping up the voltage at the generating stations and stepping down the same at the place where it is to be used. Stepping down the same at the place where it is to be used. So the meaning is stepping up and stepping down is needed. So do you know that? Do you know which device is used for stepping up or stepping down the voltage? The device is transformer. The device is the transformer. Now we try to discuss about the transformer. So you know that transformer is the static device and it is the AC device. So this is not a DC device. The transformer which transforms the AC power from the one source to the another source. So you can see what is happening is there. The definition you can see. Transformer. Transformer is a static device which is used to transfer electrical power from one circuit to the another circuit with the same frequency without changing the frequency. You can also say that the meaning is the transformer is a static device, that is it does not have any movement. The device does not having any rotational movement and having any movement. It is a static device which is used to transfer the electrical power from one circuit to the another circuit without changing the frequency, or also can say that with the same frequency without having any physical contact with that type of circuit. Without having the contact, we can transfer the electrical power. That is the beauty of the transformer. A transformer works on the principle of mutual inductance. You already know that what is the mutual inductance. In the mutual inductance, we having the two inductors are there. Whenever we give the excitation to the first inductor, because of this first excitation, the EMF is induced in the second coil. The meaning is whenever the AC current is passing through the inductor, so there exists some magnetic flux. Whenever this magnetic flux cuts the another coil due to the Faraday law, whenever changing flux cuts the conductor, the EMF is induced in that inductor or in that conductor. So the same phenomena we are using here. So the main concept of the transformer is mutual inductance. Very, very important. So it having the two windings. For the mutual inductance, we need to have the two windings. One winding is called as a primary winding, another winding is called as a secondary winding. So for the primary winding, they give the power supply. For the secondary winding, they take the power supply from the secondary winding. In simple, you can say is that the source is connected to the primary winding, the load is connected to the secondary winding. If any problem occurs at the source side, it does not affect the load side. If any problem occurs in the load side, it does not affect to the source side. So this is the advantage of the transformer. So it is mainly used to step up or step down the voltage or current. Mainly where we are using it to match the transmission and usage, we use the transformer. Step up transformer, stepping up voltage or step down voltages or currents, we use the transformer. Now you can see these are the different transformer symbols. You can see, so primary winding, secondary winding. The first A, it indicates the general type of the transformer. It having the primary winding having the more windings compared to the secondary winding. This type of winding is called as a step down transformer. So B is also same. You can use like this also. C is also the same symbol. You can use any of these four transformer symbols. Generally we use the A and B symbols for the proper understanding. For the proper understanding. Now you see the basic transformer action. So this is the primary winding, secondary winding. Both windings are separated. For the primary winding, here 60 Hz is given. This is the American frequency. But we having the 50 Hz is there. That is the Indian general power supply frequency 50 Hz. We need to apply the 230 volts AC. This is the primary winding. The next one is the secondary winding. This side is having the load we have. Now we can see. So when alternating voltage is applied to the primary winding, an alternating current will flow that will magnetize the primary magnetic core. So first what we need to do? First we need to apply the AC supply to the primary winding, alternating supply to the primary winding. So whenever we apply the alternating supply to the primary winding, alternating current will flow through the primary winding. This current will magnetize the primary magnetic core. Primary magnetic core. So this alternating flux flowing around the entire length of the magnetic circuits. Generally we use a core as a magnetic circuit. Core magnetically links with the primary winding and the secondary winding. We already discussed core. Core is a standard material or a withstanding material on which we wound the coil, that is called as the core. So the meaning is whenever the primary winding is magnetized, the alternating flux flowing around the entire length of the magnetic circuit. It induces a voltage in both the primary and secondary winding. What happens? In the primary winding and in the secondary winding, the voltages are induced. In the primary winding is because of the self-inductance. In the secondary winding because of the mutual inductance. The first in one direction and then in the other direction. Since both windings are linked by the same flux, the voltage induced for turn of the primary and secondary windings must be the same value and the same direction. What happened means the both windings are linked by the same flux. The voltage induced for turn of the primary and secondary windings must be the same value and the same direction. So that is the symbol. You can see once again, you can see the basic transformer action, the primary winding and secondary winding. So whenever we apply the AC supply through the primary winding of the transformer, so the magnetic flux is induced around the inductor. So this flux links with the secondary coil. So the flux linkage with the primary coil and the secondary coil are same. So the induced EMF in the first coil is equal to the induced EMF is same in the second coil. In the first coil is the self-inductance induced voltage. In the second coil, mutual inductance induced voltage. So now we try to discuss about the symbols of the different transformers. So this is another one, that is the iron core transformer symbol. Iron core transformer means we already know that iron core is indicated by the two straight lines. The primary winding is the N1, secondary winding is the NK, N2, the core is the two lines. Next one is the iron core transformer diagram. So you can see iron core. Before iron core we may have the iron core transformer diagram. So we having the core is the iron core. Generally iron core is called as a magnetic material. It is made up of with the magnetic material. So this core is used to pass the flux from one circuit to another circuit. The flux is the magnetic flux. So whenever we use the magnetical materials without having any loss, the total flux linked with the next coil. That's why we use the core. So primary winding, secondary winding we having. So primary winding having a less number compared to the secondary winding. This type of transformer is called as a step-up transformer. The voltage is depends on the number of turns of the winding. Number of turns of the winding. So next. Objectives. So objective of this class is transformer construction. Transformer construction. So now we are going to discuss about the transformer. What is there in the transformer? You know, simply in the transformer we having the primary winding and secondary winding, like that only. So we try to discuss in detail. So what is there in the transformer? So a transformer consists of two windings, namely primary winding and secondary winding. So winding is nothing but we are take the copper wire and wounded on the core, so that is called as a winding. So that is a two windings are there. A transformer consists of two windings, namely primary winding and secondary winding. These windings are wounded on a core material to reduce the losses. These windings are wounded on a core material. You already explained that whenever these windings are wounded on the core, the losses will be reduced. The magnetic flux losses will be reduced. The core material is used in this construction is of two types, namely iron and silicon. Iron core is there, silicon core also there. So the core material is made of thin sheets of 0.35 millimeter to the 0.5 millimeter thickness. The core material is made up of thin sheets. You can see that thin sheets of 0.35 millimeter to 0.5 millimeter thickness. So that is a we can call it as a core materials. These sheets are available in different shapes such as a E, I, L, U and T. So the core materials are in the different shapes, that is in the form of E, I, L, U and T. You can see the symbols, you can see E core. The core is like this E core, E type is there. The sheets one by one, n number of sheets are what is say formed or pressed together with the insulating coating. Is E core, I core, this is the I type of core, L core, we have in the U core and T core. L core, E core, T core, U core. So you may having the different combination also we can see. So EI laminations, UT laminations, FF lamination you can see. So depending on our combination, what type of transformer, what type of losses we try to reduce, so that is indicated by this one different combinations of transformer, EI lamination, UT lamination, FF laminations we having. Okay, so these are the different combinations of the cores. Core is also a important. So another type of combination also you can see LL, UI, EI, TU core lamination. You can see LL it is like a square, UI also like a square, EI you can see like that the another different one, TU, T and U is a different one. So like this we having the So different ones. So next one is next we try to the coil formers or bobbins. Coil formers or bobbins. The meaning is how these coil formers are manufactured, how we use these coil formers. These formers are also called as bobbins. Bobbins. These are of two types known as plain or split. Plain or split formers or bobbins. The one shown at left is a plain and the other at right is the split version. You can see the plain version, we don't having the only two are there coil former. So split version we having the three types of splits are there. So these are the two types of coil formers. Transformers are constructed with two or more independent bobbins. Two or more independent bobbins, each having its own windings. This method of construction is rare but has its uses at very high voltages. So this type of construction is rare but it having these are used at the very high voltages. So another one you can see E and I laminations, very important. You see the diagram how it is. So like that we don't take the a thick rod of E type shape material. We use the laminates. Laminates means a small slides of small pieces of that rod is taken and it is dipped into the insulating material and pressed together so that is called as a lamination. You can see the diagram how it is. E and I laminations, so that is the laminated cores are there, you can see. So what is the lamination core and all this we try to explain here. The primary and secondary windings of transformer are wounded on the two limbs. Two limbs, you can see the two limbs are nothing but the laminated limbs. The two primary and secondary windings of the transformer wounded on the two limbs. According to the type of winding, there are two types of constructional methods in transformer. According to the type of winding, there are two types of constructional methods in the transformer. First one is the shell type and second one is the core type. Shell type transformer and second one is the core type transformer. Shell type transformer and core type transformer. Now we try to see about the shell type transformer. Shell type transformer is like that, you can see it is like a shell. The winding we having in the middle, we may have in the middle, the two windings are in the middle limb, and the middle limb we having. Like the diagram you can see, in the diagram you can understand by seeing these two windings, primary winding and secondary winding. The shape is like the shell type. So what is there in the shell type transformer? You can see the picture. By seeing you can understand very easily how it is very nicely mounted. Shell type transformer and laminates is here E and I type lamination. The combination is E and I. E lamination, I lamination, cardboard form. In the middle we use the cardboard. Another one is the insulating material we are using. What we are using is insulating paper. So why this insulating paper means from the laminate to laminate there should not be any current flow. If the current flows, what happens means the device may heated and the heat may generated. So that's why we use the laminated. You can see the shell type transformer how it is. Paper insulation is there, laminated core is there, primary winding is there, secondary winding is there. The primary winding leads and secondary winding leads we are using. For that also we can using the insulating papers. So that is the one. This is another type of diagram is there. You can see shell type transformer. This is a practical transformer, these two. So now we try to understand what is there in the shell type transformer. Very simple way. The shell type transformer, in this type of transformer, most of the windings are enclosed by the core. Most of the windings are enclosed. The meaning is winding is within the core, internally core. The total windings are within the shell. So that's why in this type of transformer, most of the windings are enclosed by the core. In this type, generally concentric winding is made over the central limb. In the central limb, we use the primary winding and the secondary winding. That is, in this type, generally concentric winding is made over the central limb. So now we try to discuss about the core type transformer. So generally for the application purpose, for the explanation purpose, we use the core type transformer. So what is there in the core type? You can see in the core type we have the two limbs are there. In the first limb we have the primary winding. In the second limb we having the secondary winding. So simple way is the laminated core is there. You can see that is a square type core is there. So very simple way, without having any problem, we having the core type of transformer. In the core type transformer, the two windings are connected in the two limbs. First limb is having the first primary winding, second limb having the secondary winding. So this is about the types of cores we are using. That is the core type transformer and the shell type transformer we discussed. Now, after knowing the construction details of the transformer, now we try to discuss about the working principle of a transformer. What is there? What is the working principle? We need to know. Now we can see this type of explanation. We use the core type of transformer. You can see. So diagram, you can see primary winding is there, secondary winding is there, laminated steel core is there. You need to explain this one. What happens whenever we are applying? It mainly consists of two inductive coils. Which are electrically separated but magnetically coupled. We have the two inductive coils are there. These two inductive coils are electrically separated. What is the meaning of electrically separated? Means the electrical current does not pass from the primary winding to the secondary windings. There is no chance of short circuit between the primary winding and secondary winding, but magnetically coupled. The meaning is magnetically, if in the first coil having the magnetic flux, that flux may linked with the second one. One coil of the transformer is connected to an AC supply. So one coil of the transformer is connected to an AC supply, and AC produces an alternating flux in the laminated core. What happens means, whenever we are applying the AC supply, it produces an alternating flux in the laminated core. So after laminated cores, what happens? Do you know what happens when the primary winding of transformer is connected to a DC supply? Means what I am saying is I am supplying only AC, I already said the transformer is a AC device. For example, if you apply the DC to the transformer, what happens? If we apply the DC supplies to the mains, the flux produced will not vary. The meaning is whatever the flux we can see whenever we apply the AC or DC, the flux is produced through the conductor. So if you apply the DC, what happens means they produces the flux but without having any variation. We don't have any variation. The flux produced will not vary but remains constant, in magnitude, and therefore if the flux is remains constant, there is no EMF will be induced. There is no EMF will be induced in the secondary circuit. There is no EMF will be induced in the secondary circuit. So that is the basic principle is to whenever changing flux cuts the inductor, then only EMF is induced. Now what happened means if you apply the DC, the produced flux will not vary but remains constant in magnitude, and therefore no EMF will be induced in the secondary coil. So that's why most of this flux links with the other coil. Most of this flux will links with the other coil. According to Faraday's law, a EMF produced in the other coil, the coil connected to the supply mains is called primary winding. The coil connected to the load circuit is called secondary winding, as I already mentioned. So the thing is, whenever we apply the AC supply, the AC magnetic field is magnetic flux is generated in the core. Whenever the core having this changing flux, this total or this most of this flux links with the other coil. Whatever the coil is the other coil. According to Faraday's law, the changing flux links the conductor. It produces EMF. It produces EMF in that coil. The coil connected to the supply main side connected coil is called as a primary winding, and the coil connected in the secondary side is known as the secondary winding. Secondary side connected is called as the secondary winding. The induced EMF given by the general expression, you know that what amount of EMF induced in the second coil is given by, so the induced EMF given by the general expression is, you can say simply, the induced EMF is equal to minus N d pi by dt. Minus N is the number of turns, d pi by dt is change in the rate of change of the flux, flux linkage, where E is the induced EMF in volts, N is the number of turns of the coil, d pi by dt is the rate of change of flux in Webers per second. d pi by dt is the rate of change of flux in Weber per second. The minus sign indicates that the induced EMF opposes the effect causing it. The minus sign indicates that the induced EMF opposes the effect causing it. So this is the induced EMF in the second coil. That induced EMF depends on the number of turns connected in the coil and the changing of the flux, how much the supply voltage is changes, that also affect the induced EMF. So now we try to discuss about the next topic, that is the EMF equation of the transformer. What is the electromagnetic force equation of a transformer? You can see. So what is the equation is there? You can say primary winding induced EMF is the E1, secondary winding EMF is the E2. The number of turns of the primary winding is N1. Number of turns in the secondary winding is the N2, N1 and N2. Now you can see when alternating supply is given to the primary winding, it produces an alternating flux in the core material. You already know that whenever we are applying the alternating supply, it produces an alternating flux in the core material. It links with the secondary coil. The flux is linked with the secondary coil in accordance with the Faraday's law of electromagnetic induction. An EMF is induced in it. Now, for the formula purpose, we try to discuss this one. Let the pi is the flux produced in the core due to the primary winding. Now we can assume that pi m is the maximum flux in the core. So now we can say the maximum flux in the core equal to phi m equal to bm. A is the area of the core, bm is the magnetical constant of the core, and the turns n1 is the number of primary turns, n2 is the number of secondary turns, f is the supply frequency of the given supply, E1 is the RMS value of primary induced EMF, E2 is the RMS value of secondary induced EMF. We having these are the parameters. Now you can see what happens. That figure 2 you can see one cycle we having this one. The flux increases from its 0 to maximum value pi m is 1/4 of the cycle, that is in the 1 by 4 seconds, 1 by 4f second. You can say flux increases from its 0 to maximum value. So maximum value we can say is that pi m. Pi is the general flux, pi m is the maximum value. You can say is that 1 by 4th of frequency, or we having the total, you can do the 360 degrees and off is the 180. In the 180 we may having the 90. 1 by 4th of the our frequency will get the maximum value. The maximum flux occurs at f by 4 seconds for each total frequencies. The f means in the quarter fi both second we can having the maximum flux. We know from Faraday's laws of electromagnetic induction, the EMF induced is directly proportional to the rate of change of flux. What amount of voltage is induced, that voltage is proportional to the rate of change of flux. So therefore, average rate of change of flux we can say is that d pi by dt equals to maximum flux by time of occurrence. What is the maximum flux and what is the time for occurring the maximum flux? That is the maximum flux is the pi m. The occurring time is quarter time 1 by 4f. The average EMF for turns is average EMF for turn is 4f pi m. 4f is the frequency of the supply voltage, phi m is the flux of the induced EMF. If flux is sinusoidal, then RMS value of induced EMF is RMS value of EMF by turns. RMS value by EMF by turn. You know that RMS value equal to average value into form factor. Average value into form factor. You know that for the sinusoidal average value you can 4 f pi m, and the form factor is 1.11. So the answer is the average rate of change of flux or RMS values of induced EMF of the second coil is 4.44 f pi m. 4.44 f pi m. So this gives the RMS value of the induced EMF of our secondary winding. So now induced EMF in primary for N1 number of turns E1 equals to 4.44 N1 F pi m, but pi m equal to BMA. So therefore E1 equal to 4.44 N1 F BMA. Induced EMF in secondary for N2 number of turns is E2 equal to 4.44 N2 F BMA. For ideal transformer, we having the V1 equals to E1, V2 equals to E2. So that we can say that the induced voltage of primary winding is V1 equals to E1, V2 equals to E2. So this is the equation which indicates the frequency or equation of the induced EMF of the transformer. So in this class we try to once again recall what we discussed in this class. In this class we discussed about the introduction to the transformer. The transformer having on what principle the transformer is working. So we discussed about the Faraday's laws, Faraday first law and Faraday second law. Depending on the Faraday's laws, the transformer is working. So the transformer is a static device, and the transformer is transfer the energy from one circuit to the another circuit without changing with the same frequency. And after that we discussed about the construction of the transformer. In the transformer we having the primary winding and secondary winding, and we having the core is there. So generally transformer having the two types of cores, iron core and the ferrite core. So the iron core and ferrite core is there. Depending on that we use this type of cores. So coming to this cores are two types are there. First one is the shell type, another one is the core type cores are there, or core type formers are there. So the thing is for the construction of the transformer we need to have the two windings, primary winding and the secondary winding. Primary winding used for supplying the voltage, secondary winding is used for connecting to the load. The transformer having the two windings. The two windings are electrically separated but magnetically coupled. The main importance of the core is the core which is used to reduce the losses of the linkage flux from the first coil to the second coil. The core is also not a thick or a rod type material. What they are doing is they make the small type of sheets in the different forms E, I, T, U, L in the this type of sizes. After taking these slide sheets, what they use that they uses the insulating material, and these sheets are combined together make a farmer. So generally this farmer having the two limbs are there. The first limb is used as a primary limb, second limb is used as a secondary winding. So in the shell type what happen means the total winding is in the middle core. In the shell type The total winding is surrounded by the core. So what happened means generally the core is the windings are on a single limb. So first one is given as the primary winding. Next one is given as the secondary winding. In the core type transformer, what happened means we having the two separate limbs are there. So first limb is given as the primary winding, second limb is given as the secondary winding. So we discuss this one. After that we discuss about the working principle of the transformer. The working principle of the transformer is nothing but whenever we are applying the AC supply to the primary winding, the primary winding generate the changing flux on the magnetic core. Whenever this changing flux generated in the core, through the core, that flux is linked with the secondary coil. Whenever this flux links in the secondary coil, so there due to this mutual inductance in the secondary coil, the EMF is induced. The induced EMF is equals to the primary winding EMF depending on the primary and secondary winding linkage. Like this, the electrical energy is transformed from the primary winding to the secondary winding without having any electrical contact. Now we also discussed about the induced EMF equation, and also we derived the expression for the transformer induced EMF in this class. In the next class, we try to discuss about the detail about the transformer applications, and different types of transformers, and transformers turns ratio. Depending on the turns ratio, what happened to the transformer, what is the classification of the transformer, we try to discuss in the next class. Thank you.